The night was quiet at the SETI Institute in California. Dr. Sarah Chen sat at her desk, sipping coffee and staring at screens full of data. It was her job to look for signals from space, hoping to find signs of alien life. Most nights were boring, but not this one. Suddenly, a loud beep filled the room. Sarah's eyes widened as she looked at her main screen. There was a pattern she had never seen before. It wasn't random noise. It wasn't a pulsar or any known space object. This was something new. "Holy cow," Sarah whispered. Her hand shook as she reached for her phone. "I need to call the director." Within hours, the news spread. Scientists around the world confirmed Sarah's discovery. This was no false alarm. Earth had received its first message from an alien civilization. But this wasn't just any message. As experts worked to decode it, they realized it was a cry for help. A massive alien fleet was stranded in a distant solar system, facing a crisis that threatened their survival. World leaders gathered for an emergency meeting at the United Nations. The main question on everyone's mind: should Earth respond? Some worried it might be a trap. Others saw it as humanity's chance to prove itself on the galactic stage. In the end, compassion won out. Humans couldn't ignore a plea for help, even if it came from strange beings across the stars. "We have a duty to assist," declared the UN Secretary-General in a global broadcast. "This is humanity's moment to show the universe who we truly are." Plans were quickly made. Earth would send its most advanced ships on a rescue mission. But who would go? All over the planet, experts were called up. The best pilots, the smartest engineers, the most skilled diplomats. Earth needed them all. This mission would test the limits of human ability and technology. Dr. Chen found herself swept up in the preparations. As the person who first heard the alien signal, she was asked to join the mission as a communications expert. It was far beyond anything she had trained for, but Sarah knew she had to go. "I never thought I'd leave Earth," she told her family as she packed. "But this is the chance of a lifetime. We might save an entire civilization." Meanwhile, in shipyards and laboratories around the world, humans worked day and night. They upgraded engines, improved life support systems, and packed every bit of useful technology they could think of. No one knew exactly what challenges they'd face out there, so they had to be ready for anything. The day of launch arrived. Crowds gathered to watch the ships take off. There were 5 in total, each carrying a crew of Earth's finest. As the countdown began, a hush fell over the planet. Captain Michael Okonkwo sat in the command chair of the lead ship, named Hope. He looked around at his crew, seeing determination in their eyes. They all knew the risks, but they also knew what was at stake. "All systems go," reported the ship's eye. "Ready for launch on your command, Captain." Michael took a deep breath. This was it. The moment that would change human history forever. "Let's go save some aliens," he said with a grin. Launch. The engines roared to life. 5 ships rose into the sky, carrying the dreams and hopes of an entire planet. As they broke free of Earth's gravity, cheers erupted from every corner of the globe. Humanity's greatest adventure had begun. They were heading into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might throw at them. And they were determined to show that when it came to courage, skill, and compassion, humans could stand tall among the stars. The rescue fleet disappeared into the depths of space, leaving behind a planet united in hope and wonder. Whatever happened next, Earth would never be the same again. The 5 Earth ships zoomed through space faster than any human had ever traveled before. Inside the lead ship, Hope, Captain Michael Okonkwo watched the stars streak by on the main screen. "How long until we reach the alien Armada?" he asked. Dr. Sarah Chen checked her instruments. "At our current speed, about 3 weeks, Captain." Michael nodded. It was a long journey, but Earth's best minds had made their ships incredibly fast. Still, there were many challenges ahead. A week into the trip, alarms started blaring. "Captain," shouted the pilot, Lieutenant Maria Rodriguez, "there's a massive asteroid field ahead. Our maps didn't show this. Michael's mind raced. Going around would take too long. They had to find a way through. Dr. Chen, can you use our sensors to map a safe path? He asked. Sarah's fingers flew over her console. I think so, but it'll be tight. Lieutenant Rodriguez will need to do some fancy flying. For the next few hours, the crew of Hope worked together like a well-oiled machine. Sarah called out directions, Maria steered the ship with incredible skill, and Michael kept everyone calm and focused. Smaller rocks pinged off the ship's shields, making everyone nervous. But in the end, they'd made it through safely. The other ships followed Hope's path, and soon they were all clear. Great job, everyone, Michael said with a smile. That's how we humans do it. The crew cheered, feeling proud of what they had accomplished. But their celebration was cut short by another alarm. This time, it was the ship's doctor, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, calling from the medical bay. Captain, we have a problem. Our medical supplies are degrading faster than expected. The radiation out here is stronger than we thought. It was a serious issue. Without proper medicine, the crew could get sick before they even reached the aliens. Michael called a meeting of the ship's top experts to find a solution. For hours, they discussed options. Finally, Dr. Aisha Okafor, the ship's botanist, spoke up. What if we use the plants in the hydroponic garden? I bet we could make some medicines from them. Dr. Tanaka looked doubtful. But we've never done that before. We don't know if it'll work. We have to try, Michael said. Dr. Okafor, Dr. Tanaka, work together and see what you can come up with. For the next few days, Aisha and Yuki worked nonstop. They mixed plants, ran tests, and tried recipe after recipe. The rest of the crew waited nervously. Finally, on the third day, they emerged from the lab with big smiles. We did it, Aisha announced. We've made medicines that should work even better than the ones we brought. Everyone cheered again. Human creativity and teamwork had saved the day once more. As they neared the end of their journey, the crew of Hope and the other ships felt excited but nervous. They had overcome so much already, but their biggest challenge was still to come. 2 days before they were set to arrive, Sarah picked up a transmission. Captain, I'm receiving a message from the alien Armada. They're asking who we are and why we're coming. The moment of truth had arrived. How would these aliens react to humans? Would they accept Earth's help? Michael took a deep breath and stepped up to the communications panel. He pressed the button to respond, knowing that his next words could change the course of human history. This is Captain Michael Okonkwo of the Earth ship Hope, he said clearly. We received your distress call. We've come to help. There was a long pause. The whole bridge crew held their breath, waiting for a response. Finally, a strange voice came through the speakers. It spoke in an odd musical language that somehow turned into English in their ears. Humans, the alien voice said, sounding surprised and a little afraid. You've come all this way. For us. Michael smiled. That's right, he said. That's what humans do. We're here to help, no matter who you are or where you're from. As the Earth ships approached the massive alien Armada, everyone knew that the real adventure was just beginning. Humanity was about to meet its first alien civilization, and nothing would ever be the same again. The Earth ships slowed down as they approached the alien Armada. Through the main view screen, the crew of Hope saw hundreds of massive ships, unlike anything they had ever seen before. The alien vessels were shaped like giant snowflakes, shimmering with a soft blue light. It's beautiful, Dr. Sarah Chen whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. Captain Michael Okonkwo nodded in agreement, but kept his focus. Let's not forget why we're here, he said. These aliens need our help. A large opening appeared in the side of the biggest alien ship, clearly an invitation to dock. Michael gave the order, and Lieutenant Maria Rodriguez skillfully guided Hope into the alien hangar. As the Earth ship settled into place, everyone held their breath. This was it, Humanity's first face-to-face meeting with an alien species. The airlock hissed open. Michael led a small team out, including Sarah, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, and Chief Engineer Raj Patel. They stepped onto the alien ship, their hearts pounding with excitement and nervousness. A group of aliens was waiting for them. They were tall and slender, with 4 arms and skin that shifted colors like the surface of a soap bubble. Their large, multifaceted eyes studied the humans with curiosity. One alien stepped forward. When it spoke, its voice seemed to come from all around them. "Welcome, humans. I am Zorax, leader of the Luminary people. We did not expect anyone to answer our call for help." Michael bowed slightly. "We're honored to meet you, Zorax. I'm Captain Michael Okonkwo. We came as soon as we received your message. How can we assist you?" Zorax's skin flickered with shades of blue and green. "Our ship's energy cores are failing. Without them, we cannot move or maintain life support. Soon, we will." The alien paused, its color turning a deep purple. "We will die." Raj stepped forward, his eyes lighting up with interest. "May I take a look at your energy cores? I might be able to help." Zorax and the other aliens exchanged glances. Their skin rippled with colors in what seemed like a silent conversation. Finally, Zorax turned back to the humans. "Very well. But understand, our technology is far beyond yours. We doubt you can do anything." As they walked through the alien ship, Sarah couldn't help but ask questions. "Zorax, how long have your people been traveling through space? Where are you from?" "We have roamed the stars for millennia," Zorax replied. "Our homeworld was destroyed long ago. We are the last of our kind." The humans exchanged sad looks. They understood now why this rescue was so important. They reached a vast chamber filled with glowing crystals. Raj immediately got to work, scanning the alien tech with his devices. The aliens watched, their doubt clear in their shifting colors. Hours passed. Raj worked tirelessly, muttering to himself and making calculations. The other humans helped where they could, passing tools and offering ideas. Finally, Raj looked up, his face streaked with sweat, but his eyes shining. "I think I've got it," he exclaimed. "The problem isn't with the energy cores themselves. It's the distribution system. If we reroute the power flow like this." He showed a diagram on his tablet. The aliens crowded around, their colors flashing rapidly as they studied Raj's solution. Zorax turned to Michael, its skin now a bright golden color. This could work, but we lack the materials to make these changes." Michael smiled. "That's why we brought supplies. We came prepared to help in any way we could." For the next few days, humans and aliens worked side by side. The humans' creativity and problem-solving skills impressed the Luminary. They found new ways to use alien tech, combining it with human ingenuity to solve problems the aliens thought impossible. As the last changes were made, Zorax called for the energy cores to be restarted. Everyone waited anxiously. Suddenly, the crystals in the chamber blazed with light. A low hum filled the air, growing stronger by the second. Zorax's entire body glowed with a dazzling white light. "It works," the alien leader exclaimed. "You've saved us, humans. We owe you a debt we can never repay." Michael shook his head. "There's no debt. This is what humanity does. We help those in need, no matter who or where they are." As news of the success spread through both fleets, celebrations broke out. Humans and Luminary alike cheered and embraced. In that moment, two civilizations from opposite ends of the galaxy found common ground. It was just the beginning of an incredible journey for both species. As the initial excitement of their success faded, both humans and Luminary realized there was still much work to be done. The energy cores were functioning, but the alien Armada needed repairs and upgrades to ensure their long-term survival. Captain Michael Okonkwo called a meeting with Zorax and the lead engineers from both species. They gathered in a large circular room aboard the Luminary flagship. "We've solved the immediate crisis," Michael said, "but how can we make sure your ships stay in good condition for your continued journey?" Zorax's skin shimmered with thoughtful blues and greens. "Our ships have systems your people have never seen. We're not sure how you can help further." Raj Patel, the human chief engineer, spoke up. "Maybe that's exactly why we can help. We'll see your tech with fresh eyes. Sometimes, a new perspective is all you need to spark innovation." The luminary engineer, Silana, tilted her head curiously. Her color shifted to a curious yellow. "What do you propose?" "Let's form mixed teams," Raj suggested. "Humans and luminary working together on each system. We'll combine our knowledge and see what we can create." The idea was met with enthusiasm from both sides. Soon, the alien armada became a hive of activity. In every ship, humans and luminary worked side by side, sharing ideas and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Dr. Sarah Chen found herself working with a luminary scientist named Lyrax on the ship's navigation systems. "Your method of plotting courses is fascinating," Sarah said, studying the holographic star charts. "But have you considered using gravitational slingshots to conserve energy during long journeys?" Lyrax's eyes widened, his color turning a bright orange of excitement. "We never thought of using gravity in that way. Show me more." Together, they developed a new navigation program that combined luminary sensor technology with human orbital mechanics theories. The result was a system that could plot faster, more efficient courses than either species could achieve alone. Meanwhile, Raj was working with Silana on improving the luminary's shield technology. "Your shields are incredibly strong," Raj noted, "but they use a lot of power. What if we could make them more efficient?" Silana's color turned a skeptical purple. "We've tried for centuries to improve them. How could you succeed where we failed?" Raj grinned. "Sometimes, the simplest solutions are the hardest to see when you're too close to the problem." He showed her how to modify the shield harmonics using principles from Earth's noise-canceling technology. The result was a shield that was 30% stronger but used 20% less energy. Silana's color shifted to an impressed gold. "Remarkable. Your species continues to surprise us." Raj. All across the fleet, similar breakthroughs were happening. Human creativity combined with luminary advanced technology, leading to innovations neither species had dreamed possible. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, working in the medical bay, discovered that a common earth plant could be used to treat a long-standing luminary illness. The luminary, in turn, showed the humans how to use their crystalline technology to dramatically improve the accuracy of medical scans. Even the ship's living spaces were transformed. The luminary learned about human concepts of ergonomics and comfort, while the humans marveled at the aliens' ability to manipulate light and color to create soothing environments. As the days passed, the mood throughout both fleets lifted. The luminary ships hummed with new energy and efficiency. The humans found their own technology evolving rapidly as they applied what they learned from the aliens. One evening, Zorax called Michael to the observation deck of the luminary flagship. As they looked out at the stars and the bustling activity of the combined fleet, Zorax's skin glowed with a warm golden light. "When you first arrived, Michael, we doubted you could help us," the alien leader said. "We thought our technology was too advanced for you to understand. We were wrong." Michael smiled. "That's the beauty of cooperation, Zorax. We're stronger together than we are apart." Zorax nodded, its color shifting to a thoughtful blue. "You've given us more than just repairs. You've given us new hope, new ways of thinking. Your species' creativity and adaptability are truly remarkable." As they stood there, watching humans and luminary working together seamlessly, both leaders knew they were witnessing the birth of something extraordinary. This partnership, born from a crisis, had the potential to change the course of both their civilizations. The technological symphony they had created together was just the beginning. The universe, it seemed, had much more in store for this unlikely alliance of humans and aliens. The combined human luminary fleet had been working together for weeks. Their ships were stronger and faster than ever before. Everyone felt proud of what they had accomplished. But their peace was about to be shattered. One quiet afternoon, alarms blared across every ship. Captain Michael Okonkwo rushed to the Bridge of Hope, his heart racing. "What's happening?" he demanded. Lieutenant Maria Rodriguez, her face pale, looked up from her console. "Captain, we're detecting multiple ships entering the system. They're not ours or the luminaries." At that moment, Zorax's image appeared on the main screen. The luminary leader's skin was a dark, worried gray. "Captain Okonkwo, we have a serious problem. The ships approaching. They are the reason we fled our last home." Michael's eyes widened. "You mean?" Zorax nodded grimly. "Yes. The Devourers have found us." Over the next hour, Zorax explained the situation to the human leaders. The Devourers were a ruthless species that consumed entire planets for resources. They had been chasing the Luminary for centuries, destroying everything in their path. "We thought we had finally lost them," Zorax said, color shifting to a sad blue. "We never meant to bring this danger to you, humans. We understand if you want to leave." Michael looked around at his crew, then back at Zorax. His voice was firm when he spoke. "We're not going anywhere. We came here to help, and that's exactly what we're going to do." A ripple of agreement passed through the human ships. They had come too far to abandon their new friends now. Dr. Sarah Chen spoke up, her mind racing with ideas. "Zorax, you said the Devourers consume planets. Do they ever attack in space?" Zorax's color shifted to a surprised yellow. "No, they prefer to attack colonies or populated worlds." "Why do you ask?" Sarah grinned. "Because that gives us an advantage. They're not used to space battles. But we are." Over the next few hours, humans and Luminary worked frantically to prepare for the coming fight. They combined Luminary's advanced shields with Earth's best weapons. They created new battle strategies, mixing human military tactics with Luminary knowledge of the enemy. As the Devourer fleet drew closer, Captain Michael called all ships to attention. His face appeared on screens across both fleets. "Friends, allies, fellow defenders," he began, his voice strong and clear. "We face a terrible enemy today. The Devourers think they can take whatever they want, destroy whoever they please, but they've never faced anything like us before." He paused, looking directly into the camera. "Humans and Luminary, working together. We've already achieved the impossible once by saving this fleet. Now we'll do it again. We'll show these Devourers that the people of Earth and the Luminary are not prey to be hunted. We are defenders of life, protectors of the weak, and we will not go quietly." A cheer went up across both fleets. Humans pumped their fists in the air, while Luminary glowed with bright, determined colors. Zorax's voice joined Michael's. "The Devourers think us weak because we chose to flee rather than fight. Today, with our human allies beside us, we will prove them wrong. Today, we stand and fight." As the enemy ships came into view, a tense silence fell over the fleet. The Devoured ships were enormous, shaped like jagged black stars that seemed to suck in the light around them. Michael took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth. Everything they had worked for, everything they had built together, would be put to the test. "All ships," he commanded, his voice calm but filled with determination. "Battle positions. Let's show these Devourers what happens when they mess with Earth and the Luminary." The combined fleet moved into formation. Human ships and Luminary vessels flew side by side, their newly upgraded weapons powering up, their improved shields humming with energy. As the Devourers approached, seemingly confident in their superiority, they had no idea what was waiting for them. They were about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating their prey. The greatest space battle in human history was about to begin, and humanity was ready to prove its worth among the stars. The vast emptiness of space erupted into chaos as the battle began. The Devourer's black star-shaped ships launched the first attack, firing massive energy beams at the human luminary fleet. "Evasive maneuvers," Captain Michael Okonkwo shouted. Lieutenant Maria Rodriguez's hands flew over the controls, guiding the Hope in a series of swift, unpredictable movements. All around them, human and luminary ships danced through space, dodging the deadly beams. "Their weapons are strong," Zorax's voice crackled over the comm, "but they're slow to recharge. We must strike between their shots." Michael nodded. "You heard Zorax. All ships, attack pattern Delta." The combined fleet split into smaller groups, each led by a human ship. They weaved through the enemy formation, firing a mix of human missiles and luminary energy weapons. The Devourers, used to easy victories against helpless planets, were caught off guard by this aggressive space combat. On the Bridge of Hope, Dr. Sarah Chen monitored the battle on her screens. "Captain," she called out, "I'm noticing a pattern in their movements. They always turn to protect a specific part of their ships." Chief Engineer Raj Patel leaned over to look. "That must be where their main power source is. If we can hit that spot." Michael's eyes lit up. "We could take them out with a single, well-placed shot." "Zorax, did you get that?" "Affirmative, Captain," the luminary leader replied. "We're relaying targeting data to all ships now." As the battle raged on, the human luminary fleet put their plan into action. Human pilots, with their quick reflexes and daring maneuvers, flew directly at the Devourer ships. They dodged and weaved, drawing enemy fire and attention. Meanwhile, luminary ships, with their superior sensors and precise weapons, waited for the perfect moment to strike. When a Devourer ship turned to track a human vessel, exposing its weak spot, a luminary beam would slice through space, hitting the target with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, Devourer ships began to explode, lighting up the battlefield with brilliant flashes. But the Devourers were not going down without a fight. They began to adapt, changing their tactics to protect their weak spots. The battle grew more intense, with losses on both sides. "We need to end this quickly," Michael said, gripping his chair as Hope shook from a near miss. "Any ideas?" Dr. Yuki Tanaka, who had been quietly working at a console, suddenly spoke up. "Captain, I think I have a plan. But it's risky." All eyes turned to the doctor as she explained her idea. Using the medical crystals they had gotten from the luminary, they could create a massive energy pulse. If detonated in the center of the Devourer fleet, it could disrupt their ship systems. But for it to work, Yuki said, someone would have to fly right into the middle of their formation to set it off. A heavy silence fell over the bridge. It was a suicide mission. Before Michael could respond, Zorax's voice came through. "We volunteer. This is our fight, our responsibility. We will deliver your device." Michael shook his head. "No, Zorax. We're in this together. We'll find another way." He was cut off by alarms blaring. A huge Devourer ship, bigger than the others, had appeared. Its weapons were charging, aimed right at the luminary flagship. In that moment, Michael made a decision. "Zorax, get your people clear. Hope will deliver the pulse." Despite protests from his crew and the luminary, Michael's mind was made up. As Raj and Yuki rushed to prepare the pulse device, Hope turned towards the heart of the enemy fleet. "It's been an honor serving with all of you," Michael said, his voice calm. "Now, let's finish this." Hope shot forward, dodging enemy fire. The luminary provided cover, clearing a path. As they reached the center of the Devourer formation, Michael closed his eyes and pressed the button. A blinding light filled space. For a moment, everything seemed to freeze. Then, one by one, the Devourer ships began to drift, their systems fried by the pulse. As the light faded, the human luminary fleet held their breath, searching for any sign of hope. The blinding light from the energy pulse faded, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. The Devourer ships drifted aimlessly, their systems fried. But there was no sign of hope. Captain Michael Okonkwo's ship, On the Luminary flagship, Zorax's skin had turned a deep, sorrowful blue. "They sacrificed themselves for us," the alien leader said softly. Dr. Sarah Chen wiped tears from her eyes, but kept scanning her instruments. Suddenly, she gasped. "Wait, I'm picking up a faint signal." Everyone held their breath as Sarah worked frantically to isolate the signal. Then, a crackling voice came through the speakers. "This is Hope. Anyone out there?" Cheers erupted across both fleets. Hope had survived. The pulse had knocked out their systems temporarily, but Raj's quick thinking and some emergency repairs had brought them back online. As Hope limped back to the fleet, escorted by a group of luminary ships, the full extent of their victory became clear. The Devourers were defeated. Those ships that could still move were fleeing the system as fast as they could. When Captain Michael stepped onto the Luminary flagship, he was greeted as a hero. Humans and Luminary alike crowded around him, their faces beaming with joy and relief. Zorax approached, its skin shimmering with a warm golden light. "Captain Okonkwo, you and your people have saved us all. We owe you a debt that can never be repaid." Michael shook his head, smiling. "There's no debt between friends, Zorax. We stood together against a common enemy. That's what allies do." In the days that followed, as both fleets began repairs and tended to their wounded, talks began about the future. The Luminary, no longer hunted, were unsure of their path forward. They had been wanderers for so long, they had forgotten what it meant to have a home. During one of these discussions, Dr. Sarah Chen spoke up. "Why don't you come back to Earth with us?" she suggested. "We have plenty of room in our solar system. You could settle on one of our outer planets or moons." The idea caught on quickly. The humans were excited about the prospect of having their new alien friends close by, and the Luminary were touched by the offer. "But what about your people?" Zorax asked Michael. "Will they accept us?" Michael smiled confidently. "After we tell them how you helped us defeat the Devourers, they'll welcome you with open arms." And so, a month after the great battle, the combined fleet set a course for Earth. The journey was long, but filled with excitement and planning for the future. As they approached the solar system, Michael sent a message ahead, explaining everything that had happened. He was relieved to receive an enthusiastic response from Earth's leaders, welcoming the Luminary and hailing the human crew as heroes. The day the fleet arrived in Earth's orbit was one that would go down in history. People all over the planet watched in awe as the shimmering Luminary ships took their place alongside human vessels. In a grand ceremony broadcast worldwide, human leaders officially welcomed the Luminary to their new home. Zorax, speaking for all Luminary, pledged friendship and cooperation with Earth. "Today marks the beginning of a new era," the Earth's president announced. "Humanity has taken its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through compassion, bravery, and cooperation." In the years that followed, the partnership between humans and Luminary flourished. The Luminary settled on Jupiter's moon Europa, transforming it into a beautiful water world that reminded them of their lost home. Earth benefited greatly from Luminary technology. Advances in medicine, energy production, and space travel accelerated human progress by centuries. In return, humans helped the Luminary rediscover the joys of art, music, and having a permanent home. Captain Michael Okonkwo, now Admiral, often visited Europa. During one such trip, he stood with Zorax, watching Earth rise over Europa's icy horizon. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Michael asked. Zorax's skin shimmered with happy colors. "Never. When we sent out that distress call, we hoped for rescue. Instead, we found a new family." As they stood there, human and alien side by side, both knew that this was just the beginning. Together, they were ready to face whatever challenges the vast universe might bring.